Hi friends, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology. And today, Chiron in the birth chart. Yes, what does it mean if the comet Chiron is aspecting your sun, your moon, your Mercury, your Venus, your Mars? Yes, we are breaking it all down. And I love talking about Chiron because I am Chiron. Like, my personal chart has so many Chiron aspects. Before diving in, if you could do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the little bell on to keep the cosmic content coming. It really helps me to know that people are watching, to keep these videos coming. And without further ado, let's dive into Chiron. So Chiron in mythology was a centaur, and he was an orphan. His mom was disgusted by the way that he looked, and he ended up being raised by Apollo, who taught him enormous amounts of kindness and intelligence. But that initial wound of being left by his mother and also looking different than the other centaurs really left a mark within him. It was like the deepest wound. He was a healer. He was an astrologer, actually. But the ironic part is that he was a healer and he could heal nearly anyone, but he couldn't heal himself. It was a lifetime of pain for Chiron. And because of his own pain, it gifted him quite a bit of empathy. So the term typically associated with Chiron is the wounded healer. And now Chiron is between Saturn and Uranus. And I think it's significant because Saturn is kind of the circumstances that we are born in, the structures around us, and Uranus is our ability to like shake things up, right? And Chiron is kind of a mixture because it's something that can keep us restricted, like Saturn. It's a way that we can restrict ourselves from new experiences. Like, oh, I can't do that, I'm not confident enough, I can't do that, I'm not fit for that. But it's also a way to unlock our own liberation, which is Uranus, and being able to create our own freedom for ourselves. So I think not looking at your Chiron will keep you permanently trapped in its lure, but looking at that part of your chart and lovingly healing that part of yourself is unlocking this amazing well of opportunity, both in, healing and being an empathetic service provider in the world around you, and also unlocking your own personal power. So I'm so excited to talk to you about Chiron. I will be doing separate videos for Chiron by sign and Chiron by house. Today it is if Chiron is aspecting, making a hard aspect that's conjunction, square, or opposition to a personal planet. So I'll kick it off one by one. Let's start with Sun. So Sun is our ego, it's our self-expression. And with Chiron aspecting the Sun in one of these ways, there could be a wound associated with how we express ourselves, with feeling confident. You could, be creative, but not want to share it with anyone because you inherently feel like you're not good enough. You could suffer from a lot of confidence issues of not wanting to be seen because you feel like the moment that you are seen by others, you'll be mocked relentlessly. There can be a fear of letting your own authentic light shine. So you just kind of merge with other people, just trying not to stand out because to you, there's an embedded feeling. If I stand out, I'll be teased. If I stand out, it's not safe for me. Remember, Chiron is a wound. So it's almost like you have this wound to your self-expression, to your identity. So you feel like it's not safe. But lovingly, when you draw attention to it, you begin to realize, no, I can identify myself as someone who is empathetic because Chiron gave me that empathy. And you might find the more you kind of heal those aspects of yourself, the more you allow your light to radiate, and the more people who are a little broken or Chironian themselves are just magnetized to you because you embody what it means to be a healer, and people see that from you. With Chiron in your moon, there might just feel like there is this deep hunger for nurturing that never feels quenched, and you look through all of these different things. You look to food to fill it up, you look to relationships to fill it up, you look to, depending on the sign and the house, of course, you look to, working to fill it up. It's like it's never enough. And you keep looking, the more you look, the more kind of desolate it feels. It's like this inherent feeling of there is something wrong with me. Like there is something wrong with me. And you could have been mocked for your emotions when you were younger, like being told that you're too sensitive and that you're not cut out for this world, you're not hard enough for this world. So then you can also feel this Chiron aspect as being a weakness of yours. Like, the reason I won't succeed is because I am so sensitive and because I am so soft. And then you get really hard to try to protect this wound deep within you. There could be a problem with overeating, undereating, because nurturing is it's calling into question how you nurture yourself. And there is a feeling within you of not knowing how to nurture yourself, of also feeling unworthy of any sort of nurturing. So it's just like more, or less. It depends on the sign of the house, but there is not a comforting relationship with nurturing. And you might not feel like, well, I'm not deserving of nice things. Or you try to give yourself love in a way that you go to excess with spending, with food, because you don't know how to authentically nurture yourself. I would say, coming from a moon Chiron to a moon Chiron, finding ways to get to know yourself, because oftentimes we can try to fill ourselves up in the way that it looks like to other people and try to fill noise and activity around us. But it really takes quiet and solitude to understand our own emotional landscape and what it is that we truly need. Because for you, it might not be shopping sprees that make you feel full, but instead spending time in nature. So learning the own language of your Chiron and your moon sign as well. But I'll do a video Chiron sign by Chiron sign about that. And then with Chiron on the ascendant, and I think it is important if your Chiron is in the 12th house or in the 1st house. And of course, I'll go into more detail with that in my Chiron by house video. But when you look at your Chiron on your ascendant, I want you to note if it's in your 1st house, because if it's in your 1st house, it's more clearly seen. You might have been very aware of your Chiron at a young age. You could have suffered some sort of injury or some sort of accident, which manifests in a very physical way. Or it could just be that you never felt like you fit in, or like childhood, you just felt like you stuck out like a sore thumb. And if it's in your 12th house, that's like kind of impeding your subconscious mind into having this heartbeat of like, you're not worthy, you're not worthy. And with Chiron on your ascendant, there is a lot of insecurity around the way that you physically look, or around your body in general, your appearance. And with Chiron in the 1st house, it's kind of being misstepped of what your body authentically needs. So it could be undereating, overeating, feeling like people don't like you because you're too skinny, feeling like people don't like you because you're too fat. It's never feeling comfortable with yourself, no matter what the appearance looks like in the mirror, but always blaming what your appearance looks like in the mirror for anything that's going wrong in your life. Yet you find no matter how much your body fluctuates or changes, it's like that inherent unworthiness doesn't go away. Because though it seems related, because it's literally permeating your worldview, ascendant is how we view the world. Though it seems like that is the reason for your unhappiness and your insecurity, it's simply how you view the world. So I think with the Chiron ascendant, the first thing is to know that your body is beautiful, to get in touch with intuitive eating, to get in touch with your own cycles, to love your flaws, if they're physical or mental or whatever it is, no matter how they show up, and realize that's your power. And with Chiron on the ascendant, it's like people can sense that you are more sensitive and soft, and you might just feel like people come up to you and just dump all this stuff on you because you just portray this aura of being a healer. So once you master that, you are going to be so powerful, whether you pursue medicine or astrology or being a tarot, whatever it is. It's like this healing aura where people just feel safe with you. They feel like they understand. You have this way with the outcasts of just an aura around you. So with Chiron on the ascendant, it's really loving your appearance and not blaming your shortcomings on it, no matter how it looks. With Chiron on your Mercury, there can be a pain related to speaking. So you might have had problems with lying, or you might have had problems, in youth, feeling like every time you spoke up, you got in trouble, but if you didn't speak up, you got in trouble. Or there could be some like learning disabilities, or not being able to keep pace with everyone else. And then it just manifests as this very deep amount of shame towards language. I've also seen a couple of clients where they grew up in school that spoke a different language than their native language, and they were made to feel like they were dumb because of that. But that wasn't it. They were actually super intelligent. They knew multiple languages. It was just everyone else was speaking a different language. And Chiron is like the energy of feeling on the outside looking in, being like, I don't match exactly like everyone else, so there must be something wrong with me. The power of Chiron truly is when we realize, no, this is actually my gift. Yes, I'm different than everyone else, but this is my gift. So with Chiron and the Mercury, you could have a very healing way with words. You can have a good way of having conversations with people. You can also find a lot of healing value in just having conversations with yourself. Like I've found it's very therapeutic to sit in front of a camera, or it could be journaling or being a writer. With Chiron emphasized, you need to be a transmuter. You need to transmute this pain, this insecurity into something tangible, into something real. You are an alchemist. That's what you are meant to do, is take this pain, see it as your gift, and turn it into something. So you could be a gifted writer, speaker, maybe advocating for other people who might have had these learning disabilities or felt on the outside looking in or struggled to find their authentic voice with Mercury and Chiron. With Chiron on Venus, there is a feeling of I'm not beautiful, I'm not lovable, and one can try to fill that void with lots of things that are meant to gain pleasure that don't really give pleasure. So trying to fill the void with meaningless sex, trying to fill the void with like fatty, like sugary foods, trying to fill the void with relationships that aren't truly healthy, trying to fill the void with drinking too much, doing too many drugs. It's like trying to find the sense of Venus, which is how we enjoy life, but going about it in a way that honestly just kind of scars us a little bit deeper. And this could be drawn to people romantically who do have this aura of needing help or needing saving. And the Chiron Venus individual will magnetize towards these sort of broken individuals because they feel like, I can save them, I can fix them. And oftentimes, because Chiron types do have this aura of healing, they can kind of help, but I also don't want you to put your entire being into trying to make someone else better, because someone else has to want to get better for themselves. I would also say, as a Venus Chiron, putting your intense emotions into art, into painting, into creating, you are a transmuter, and Venus is very creative, and you might feel subconscious like, I don't have a good sense of style like everybody else. I'm not artistic like everybody else, but you might have a totally different sense of style that you can kind of embed. And with Chiron also impacting your money planet, there could be a feeling of I'm not valuable, or like I'm going to, stay in poverty, or I'm not deserving of money, or like a kind of a internal feeling about your value that echoes in a very tangible way to your finances. With Mars on your Chiron, there could be a embedded insecurity on your ability to take action for yourself. You could not trust yourself to assert yourself, or just kind of take what people give you and not feel like you can advocate for yourself or stand up against other people. And I apologize for the noise. I don't know why. My garbage man is the noisiest garbage man in the whole land. So with Mars on Chiron, there also could be some feelings of insecurity because of your lack of athletic talent, or feeling clumsy, feeling uncoordinated. At its best, this is truly being an advocate for Chiron types, people who felt disenfranchised, people who felt left out, people who felt like they had something wrong with them, and maybe advocating for them. Some sort of rights that they've had taken away is the best example of it. Also could be a wound in regards to masculinity, of people who were too forceful with you and made you doubt your own ability to assert yourself and stand up for yourself. So when you go to stand up for yourself or advocate, there's this feeling of you're not strong enough, you can't do this. So with all of these Chiron aspects, I want you to know, first and foremost, there is nothing wrong with you. I'm a Chiron myself. I've spent so much of my life feeling like I wasn't cut out, that there was something horribly wrong with me, and that I was basically doomed. And now I realize all of the things that I hated so much about myself is what makes me a good friend. It's what makes me a good astrologer. It's what makes me a good daughter. I have felt my own emotions so intensely that I can feel truly for others and have a lot of empathy for the struggles, the plights of other human beings. Chiron types are very emotionally intelligent and they know what it's like to suffer, so they tend to be very compassionate because they don't want other people to suffer. I know, and even just seeking my own kind of like healing sessions, I can almost like feel if someone is a Chiron type or not, because with doctors, some, go into it for certain reasons and others go into it because they're truly healers. And Chiron types have a truly healing aura, and I feel like they get me as a Chiron when I like see doctors or therapists who do have strong Chiron aspects in their chart. I'm like, okay, you understand, because it's such a like kind of a unique way to see the world and a unique feeling of shame that we're all learning to unravel, that it's really, really refreshing when you're around fellow Chirons. And I want you all to see the gift in that, because it's so beautiful and the world needs your healing ability and your compassion. Love yourself first. It all comes from learning to love that initial wound within you. And no, even Chiron, the centaur, never really was able to heal his wound. So it's not like you're gonna wake up one day and these things that have plagued you your whole life are like totally gone, but it's about learning to work with that wound, appreciating the gift that is that wound. I know for sure what I've struggled with is why I'm on this path. Like, I was given that particular wound or that particular insecurity for me to find astrology and for me to be able to speak this language with clients on YouTube, etc. It's what my power and my passion stems from. So I'd love to hear what your Chiron is about. Remember, I will be doing videos on Chiron by sign and by house, because I think it's really important to dive into our Chiron as much as possible. I'm so here to talk about Chiron all day, all night. I'll answer all of your questions if you leave them below, or you can DM me. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCommentAstrology. I post Magic Mondays, which is a weekly overview of the week ahead, day by day, every Monday morning, so you can kind of know where there's opportunity and seize into it. If you could do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me keep these videos coming. I'm so, so grateful that you chose to spend some time with me talking about Chiron. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.